Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride of some tasteless humor, lots of heart, and radical truth with two scrappy chicks. Because adulting is hard, but we are thinking that laughing about it is just so much easier. And we are back. Hope everyone is having a good week. Weather's changing. Uh, so I guess this is going to be like an update on what's going on with us. We like to keep you updated since we share our journey with weight loss and stuff. As far as me, I mean, grief is just, how do I explain grief? I mean, it can hit you at any time, and it's it's just weird about the sequence. Like when Minky passed away, that was in September, and her gotcha day was like the next day. And with Obi, she passed a week before we lost Bella, which was 2 years ago. And Obi's birthday is in October. So I'm not going to like September and October. And I'm really missing having a cat. I have had a cat consistently as a child, and then there was a little gap when I moved out of the house, and then I've had a cat since always, since if not one, many cats since 1991. So I am missing having a cat, and I definitely will get one. I've been looking, and I have my eye on one that kind of looks like Scrappy Coco, and it's 9, and I'm just like, well, we'll see. Dexter's been doing a very good job being comforting. Um, if dogs could talk, I think he would be like, okay, so I saw you take one in a cage and then you carried out the other. What the hell is going on? Where's the cats? I think he's lonely because when we leave the house, he seems to give us a look like, kind of like, where are you going? What are you doing? But he's got free reign of the house, and he doesn't get into anything, do anything naughty, but he likes to go into the front bedroom, which is actually my office, and look out the window. And he also listens for our vehicle. He knows it. Um, it's amazing how animals know sounds, like they remember sounds. So, as far as the weight loss journey, um, been doing keto. I mean, I've been staying, consistent. Hit a plateau. I don't know what the next step is, but I don't know. What can I say? Kind of like when I get upset, a little depressed, I eat. That is my comfort. And macaroni and cheese has been my comfort food for the last month going through this grief. So, and I can easily make keto mac and cheese, which I have a few times, but Aldi had a special, $1.49 for the mac and cheese, and I couldn't pass it up. That was a deal. So I got it. And so, yeah, pretty much, I'm just trying to take it day by day, one foot in front of the other. And like I said, there's just times I I just have memories, or I think about the cats and get a little sad. And I got Scrappy Coco's memorial keychain that I ordered from Amazon that didn't take that long. And I'm still waiting to get back her paw print from the vet because they cook it and stain it and make it really nice. So I need to get a shadow box to put hers in Mink's and So other than that, I wanted to go to the pumpkin farm, but last weekend had to stay in a fence. And this weekend the weather was not really cooperative. So maybe next weekend. And if we don't get there, we don't get there. I'm not going to stress about it, and my daughter's not going to stress about it, but I am going to take my little guy, the grandson, trick or treating, and this should be interesting. He's dressing up as Woody, and I think I'll just wear my Toy Story t-shirt when I take him trick or treating. So that is pretty much me in a nutshell of what was going on. I hope everyone enjoyed our past podcast. Maybe not, probably not enjoy the domestic violence ones, but gives you a little background on where we've come from, what we've battled, and who it made us today. And that's kind of how, we got scrappy. We had to, I still do fight or flight, and I don't think that will ever go away. But just being in that situation, and I mean, I didn't have it in the next relationship after being married, but he kind of sometimes you don't see things till you're away from the situation. He kind of has some narcissistic personality, and my marriage now is nowhere, not even close. There is no um, mental or physical violence. Does he drive me crazy sometimes? Yeah, but I mean, so do my kids. So does Dexter. So do some friends. You know, no one's perfect. It works, right?
Right.
Jess.
Yes, I'm here. It's been a minute, but I'm here.
Yeah. So, so yeah, it's kind of crazy how when we started this, I think our first episode was like April or May, and it's already the middle of October, and it's going to be Christmas, and I'm already looking at Thanksgiving like, okay, who has like Thanksgiving where you can go there and eat? Because I don't know, I just have this, I don't feel like cooking.
I
And
know.
if I were to, I would be like, okay, well, this is all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw in a turkey breast and the sides. And we
Call it a
usually
day.
yeah, right? We usually have my daughter and her husband and my grandson, but if they can go to something bigger and better, then that's fine. And then as far as Christmas, um, to me, it's for the kids, you know? And my mother-in-law said she's not coming back, and we're just like, oh, okay. So I don't know. We may go somewhere. I don't know. This would be a first, when you have traditions, and well, sometimes you change them, and there's nothing wrong with that. So we shall see, and hopefully we have a mild winter, like we've had like a Indian summer. But I happened to see on one of the Facebook groups I follow, the weather, that it may be wetter than normal and more like snowstorms, and I'm just like, wonderful. It's like the only perfect weather for me is like fall and somewhat spring.
Like sweater weather?
Yeah, because summer you get the well, we probably started around sometimes April, but maybe towards May, where we get the storms. Um, like the bad storms and the tornadoes and that. And then in winter, the winter storms. But like I said, last year wasn't so bad. Um, which I could say last year into the beginning of this year, it wasn't so bad. Um, but January was the longest month. Time just kept dragging. And then after that, it's like next thing you know, it's the next month. And it's just the strangest thing. So yeah, I'm not looking forward to the cold. Um, I feel like I have more um, winter clothes than summer clothes, but that's okay because you only need a few pair of shorts and I mean, I dress like Adam Sandler, so um, love the t-shirts. In fact, right now I'm wearing my Happy Gilmore t-shirt and I have two of them. Uh, I don't know, it's just what I'm comfortable in. I'm not a fan of long sleeves, so unless it's really, really cold, excuse me, I won't be wearing long sleeves. I like the three-quarter sleeves, and I don't like it tight. And like the pants, I mean, you look at my closet, like they say this is what you should do with your clothes. Take the hanger of your clothes and flip them around backwards. And if you don't wear that, whatever you don't wear, it's gonna still, like, I don't know if they say 6 months, 3 months. The clothes, whether it's the shirts or the pants, I use hangers that you can hang pants on. I love them. So then when you look at your closet and you see what is still turned backwards, you realize I haven't worn that. And they say that you should get rid of it, donate it. Um, it's funny, my husband was telling me a funny story. I can't remember who it was. Might have been a comedian. And he said he would go to Goodwill and he's like, "Oh, these pants." He's like, "They look familiar. I like them." And he buys them. And then his wife sees him wearing it and she's like, you had a pair of pants like that." He goes, "Yeah, I just bought these at Goodwill." And she goes, "That's where I donated them." So she was donating his clothes to Goodwill, and I'm thinking, wouldn't you ask first instead of just going and donating her husband's clothes? Because I'm
Well,
sure
he didn't
she,
notice. He
yeah,
didn't know they were gone.
I know, but he's buying back his
So that
clothes.
that kind of that kind of proves the point, right?
Yeah, yeah, but I wouldn't do that. Oh my God, if I did that to Hoagie, oh, there'd be hell to pay. So, yeah. So he's been better about it where he has grouped shirts, and if he hasn't worn them, then he will give them to me and say, "Hey, I haven't worn these, you can donate them." Because I says, your closet's getting kind of full. Um, he has more closet space than I do in the closet. We have those cube bins that I throw a lot of my stuff in, and my winter clothes are in the spare room, the other spare room. So, and I should probably go through those. But I try to make a point when I get something new that I get rid of something that I haven't worn. So, so yeah, today you're just going to get anything and everything topic. So, go ahead, girl, take it away.
Well, I know we were doing updates on health and wellness, and today I had my weekly EE system session, which I very much enjoy doing, and I'll get into that a little bit later. But I did want to get into health and wellness, and weight loss, right? Because everyone focuses on the weight loss, and that's been slow. And I want to say it's more of a body composition shift for me because I have definitely gone down 3 pant sizes since last, when did I start? I want to say, yeah, it was May, end of April, beginning of May. And I was only on the semaglutide for about 2 months. And honestly, that was causing more problems for me than it was solving. And even so, the weight loss was still super slow. So it may work really well for others, and those people probably really need it. For me, I'm just sticking with the keto slash carnivore and intermittent fasting, and it's working really well for me. I definitely can tell the way that my clothes are fitting me, or now, things are becoming so much bigger on me. I'm getting into smaller sizes and love that, and love people telling me how thin my face looks lately. And they're like, wow, you're losing weight. Like, yeah, I don't really see the numbers on the scale per se, but man, the body composition, that's a thing. And I'm feeling a lot better and stronger. Um, I think I had mentioned in one of our last podcasts that I had done the PRP, the platelet rich plasma therapy. And that was in my, well, both knees. I did it for my right knee initially because that was just to the point to where I couldn't even put weight on it. And that I have to say, I would highly recommend it if anyone is looking into trying to avoid surgery for their knees and you qualify for this type of therapy. I am seeing an osteo doc, and I love him. I think he's fantastic. He's been wonderful with me, and said, "Yeah, you're a very good candidate for this." I did it, and I haven't had any pain relievers since the middle of July. And for me, that was a daily thing. Tylenol, or acetaminophen, aspirin. Um, it was a daily thing. I couldn't get through the day without it. And now I haven't had it now since, like I said, since the middle of July. And it's, you don't realize, I think, because you're so focused on trying to deal with the pain, that it was also causing me downstream issues. And NSAIDs, and people will say, NSAIDs can cause some pretty nasty issues. And I think for me, it was even affecting um, the cartilage in my knees, which is what I've been trying to save. So that's been going really well. And I've implemented this new thing, new for me, but not, I guess not new in general, but it's called the Energy Enhancement System. And a really good friend of mine, and I'm in the process of interviewing her. So we're going to hear from her pretty soon about the center that she manages. And it's the Energy Enhancement System. We will have a link for you once I complete that interview, the link to her center, and then the link to the Energy Enhancement System, the direct site, so you can learn more about this technology. And what it is, our bodies are energy, and they're continually healing and repairing and regenerating, and our cells are energy, and they can get depleted. It's kind of like charging your phone. After, you use your phone for a while, it gets a little low in energy, so you got to charge it. Same thing, same promise. This just supports the body's energy, lifts that up, and helps your body to do a better job of the detoxification, the wound healing, things like that. And it's not a one-stop shop. You don't go just walk in and magically you're all better. Um, and here's the thing too, it's not the kind of thing where you're like, oh, well, I'm just going to go in and I'll, in a year or whatever, I'll be cured. I don't think that there's any modality out there that can make such a claim, and I'm certainly not going to make that here because we're not going to tell you about, what you should or shouldn't be doing with your health. I'm only sharing with you the things that have worked well for me and the things that have not worked well for me. And so far, this has been working very well for me. This is the first week that I have been able to walk and bend my right knee while walking without any pain and using my cane a lot less. So that's really good. Now, I also have to say, I'm also still doing my physical therapy. So, like I said, it's not you still have to do other things. So, once I'm able, I want to, start going back to chiropractic and getting adjustments and everything. This is a different modality where again, it enhances the energy in your body. And like I said, I was there today. It's very hard to describe, so I'm going to have to redirect you to the site for you to really learn on that because there's scientific evidence and studies of what it's able to do in terms of what it provides to your body. So that, like water, you drink water to get hydrated, you eat food to nourish your body. This is like nourishment to the energy in your body, it replenishes that. And I've been very happy and very excited about that. I do feel I'm sleeping better, not having a whole lot of pain. That's even better because I don't ever have to worry about taking these pain relievers anymore, at least not right now. Taking it day by day. And the more I'm able to move and do, I know that that's just going to improve my health, body composition, weight, everything down the line. And I think you'll really enjoy the interview. You'll learn more about this particular technology, and of course, get to meet Lynn, the lady that manages this center, and that's the one that I go to. And I think it's nice to go somewhere where you're also going to be supported. And I always meet the nicest people when I go there. Like-minded people in terms of everyone's got a struggle or an issue with their health lately, and this is the kind of thing, I'm a Gen Xer. This is the kind of thing that was pretty much unheard of when I was growing up. There wasn't really not the amount of sickness and debilitating pain that we're seeing today in the general population and younger and younger. It's just unheard of. So I'm very happy to be able to share this information about the EE system and other modalities as well. And on the same token, each person is individual, and I want to encourage you all to look at what you feel works for you. Look at your individual needs and what you're facing, and looking at as many holistic, natural ways that you can do that to support your body. And hopefully you have a supportive, friend system, family system, because that's important as well. And I am very fortunate to say that I do have that. And it all helps. But yeah, that's kind of where I'm going with that. That's like you said, it's kind of everything in a nutshell. And oh, and with health, because we still have to eat well. There was something that I had learned about oxalate toxicity because I had been very much a proponent of vegan vegetarian lifestyle, and I had done that for decades because I really thought that that was going to be something that would be good for me. Lo and behold, too much of a good thing is still too much. There is a thing called oxalate toxicity, and that is for me is what I had identified as what was causing the horrible pain in my knees and in my tendons, my soft tissues, my muscles. As soon as I reintroduced um, oxalates in the form of different, fruits and vegetables, because I had been hardcore carnivore. And I just didn't realize that when you do that and you stop cold turkey, I guess you could say, that your body then will start dumping all that extra oxalates that it's been storing up over all the years that you've been having oxalates. And for me, one of the things that I was having, and is a telltale sign of oxalate toxicity, is kidney stones. So I was passing those a couple years ago and couldn't figure out why. Fast forward to literally this year when I realized, oh boy, so going carnivore was a really great thing. I liked it a lot. I still like it, but I still have to have some oxalates because as soon as I started reintroducing oxalates into my diet, that made a huge improvement for me. It stopped that dumping process. And it's not an easy process because you got to figure out where you are and where you want to be. And you've got to take it step by step. It's a slow process. But again, I want to encourage everybody, no matter where you are, no matter where you're at in your health journey, looking at these different modalities, learning as much as you possibly can, and implementing whatever you think might work for you best and doing it slowly. Best to do things slowly, step at a time. Again, support your body so that you're not causing a shock, which I think can happen, especially if you're doing some, even some really great things, weight loss, etc. If you're losing a lot very fast, that can cause a lot of problems. I've seen a lot of people who are doing really well with their diet, losing weight, getting stronger, but then they're losing their hair. And that to me says, well, now you're nutrient deficient, right? Minerals, vitamins. We got to look at all aspects and see what you can do to identify that deficiency and help yourself with a supplement, new program. And it's a lot. It is. And I don't know about, anybody out there. It's definitely a journey. It's not a destination. And my friend Lynn, who runs this center, she's in her 70s, and this has been a lifelong pursuit for her. And just when you've figured out one aspect, there's another one that comes up, and another one, and another one. And that's okay. That's just all part of the process, I think, the healing, the growth. And I'm pretty excited about this because I have just started doing these sessions. I want to say probably 8 weeks, and been pretty impressed with the results. And like I said, still doing, drinking my filtered water, taking my supplements, still doing the physical activity, physical therapy. It's all part of that self-care. And I'll probably, we probably won't release that interview until next week, if all goes well. So, what do you think, Ginger, in terms of when we might be able to get that out? Because I think it may be done this by the end of this coming week. And then, there's other things that we'd like to bring to you as well. So if you have any suggestions, let us know.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, I would think, um, ideally, I would like to release it well, it would be next Tuesday since we release podcasts on Tuesdays. That would be ideal. If not, the following Tuesday. But there's other subjects we want to cover, like supplements. You are the supplement queen. Oh, and then here's something funny to share. Um, Marie sent me this thing that she ordered, and I thought it was for her. I thought it was meats because she does carnivore. And I didn't have my readers on. And I thought it was for her. And I was like, oh, okay. And I was like, that's different. And then you've mentioned like flavors, and I go, that's really odd to name that for people food. And then it wasn't until I was talking to you on the phone that I realized it was for your cats.
yes, because we focus on our health, right, and what we're eating. And I have three cats, two males and a female, and just always looking for ways to give them a better meal plan too, and there's this company called Smalls, and I have to be completely honest that I was very skeptical, right? Because there's a lot of companies out there that claim to do some really great things, and it's not always that way. And when it comes to my fur babies, I tend to err on the side of caution. And I thought, well, I'll just get the starter pack and we'll start slow. Let's see how this goes. And to my joy and excitement, they have done very well with it. So I will be subscribing. I did change my order a little bit. Um, Typically, I don't like to do subscriptions, but I do feel that this works. And I would recommend it to someone who's multiple or even one, just to give them um, better options because, oh, gosh, there are, with pet foods, it's just like with people food. You have your good, your great, and your not so great options. And I'm trying to get somewhere in the upper upper levels of really good to great. And which is not to say that they don't still get kibble, they do. And yeah, I mean, in cost wise, it's the same as what I was spending for their other wet food and the other, and the kibble combined. So I just feel like more of this good, really good wet food, they'll need less kibble. And we're going to try and, wean them off that so that they're just going to be on the strictly wet diet. So step by step, little by little, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, so as of today, the 19th of October, it looks good. To be continued.
Right? But still, that was funny that I thought that was for you and it was dog food.
I know, because
I
I'm
mean,
always,
cat food.
am I not always sending you stuff about supplements? And
Yeah,
Ginger knows she's been to my home. She knows I have supplements in every corner of my dwelling, of my domain. And that's where I want to really encourage people to be really careful. Don't supplement just for the sake of supplement. Try to find out as well as you can exactly what you're deficient in. And again, take it very slowly because supplements are expensive and not everything is going to work for you the way that you think it might. And your quality of supplements is also very important. And you don't want to throw your money away because I've done that so many times. And how many times have I sent you something? I'm like, don't judge. I'm trying
right?
this now. But we're trying,
Absolutely.
we're doing our best to help ourselves. And if something that's working well, or maybe something that hasn't worked well, maybe that can help others, guide them along their way.
Absolutely. It's a journey. It's
It
amazing
is.
how you could get away with stuff eating when you were younger and not see effects. But now, um, you may as well plaster it to my hips. Metabolism changes. We were
Right,
ripping and
everything.
running,
Yeah,
and
right.
now
And you're very active.
I know. And well, age, postmenopause, but I've
Well, and you were
always,
talking about, grief too, and that's a biochemical thing too. That affects everything. Because I was going to ask you too, people say comfort eating, and you said that you were doing that, and you were allowing yourself to have that moment to enjoy some things that did give you, some food that gave you some comfort. Because I was going to ask you about that too. We do things to help ourselves through a moment, and sometimes that includes comfort eating. So no shame, no judgment. It's just a fact.
that's the fact, Jack, right?
Right.
I think about stripes when I say
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, this about wraps it up. I feel like I should name this much like that movie, isn't it called Much Ado About Nothing?
Yeah.
Almost like Seinfeld when they were pitching. It's a show about nothing.
Yeah.
That's how I kind of feel this show,
Yeah. We're just
this
checking in.
podcast. Yeah. Oh, real quick before we go. So we've talked about who our ideal people are. And with being sad in that, I was like, I need to watch a movie that, perks me up. Beverly Hills Cop. Um, I know, sounds strange, but it's Bronson who plays Serge. He makes me laugh. So he on Instagram only has if he follows you that you could send him a message. So I posted in his one of his posts from about might have been a week or so ago where he's talking as Serge. Sometimes he talks as Serge, sometimes he talks as Bronson. And I had told them how watching him as Serge has cheered me up and would love him on the podcast. So if anyone has any connections, uh, we want him on the podcast,
Birdie in his ear.
right? I'm gonna have to,
That would make one sad, scrappy chick very happy.
right? I'm gonna have to start like somehow what's the word I want to say? Tagging him in posts and stuff. So, all right, I think that's gonna wrap it up for now. And please like, subscribe, share with your friends. Um, leave us, I
Give us some
believe,
suggestions.
in
What
the
you like,
show,
what you don't like.
right? In the show notes, if you leave us a text that goes to Buzzsprout for fan mail if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. So until then,
Until then,
Scrappy Chicks out.
out.
Trying. Well, this is really strange. This happens. I can't find. Okay. All right. Now, Scrappy Chicks out.
We love our scrappy peeps. So thank you all for joining us and becoming part of our flock. So please like, subscribe, and share. And if you don't like us, unfortunately, yo mama. But if you do like us, we look forward to seeing you next time on Two Scrappy Chicks.